NFL experts from ESPN. Aaron Donald is the #1 ranked player heading into this season. Donald has also been ranked at the top of both Pro Football Focus's top 50 list and NFL Network's top 100 list already. The Rams defensive lineman has won 2 straight Defensive Player of the Year awards, and Donald racked up 20.5 sacks last season and helped lead the Rams to a Super Bowl appearance. But Skip,
yes,
this is a question for you.
Thank
Do
you.
you agree that Aaron Donald is the best player in the NFL?
I do not. Furthermore, this has become the second most baffling phenomenon in all of sports because number one is Dak Prescott has not made 3 straight top 100 type lists. And now 3 straight times, is it up to 3 on Aaron Donald?
Yeah.
Aaron Donald has made #1 in all 3. And I just don't get it because I just don't see it. I'm going to say it again. I watched a whole lot of LT as in Lawrence Taylor, and he wreaked havoc every game I ever turned on my TV or sat in the press box for. You just saw it. Oh, they can't block him. I watched Charles Haley a whole bunch in his career in San Francisco versus Dallas and then Dallas versus San Francisco. Trust me, you just couldn't block him. He flew off the edge with such rage that 2 people often couldn't block him, and he leaped off your TV screen until you said, oh, look. Reggie White wasn't always that dominant, but when he got cranked, he became unblockable by 2 people in the interior line and sometimes 3. And he leaped off your screen because he took over football games. I have yet to watch one Aaron Donald game that he took over. Obviously, he is a very, very good player. But what? He's better than any quarterback? He's better than my homeboy or Tom Brady?
Better than.
Or Drew Brees? Are you kidding me? This is classic sheepthink once again, where one expert said, stroked his chin, said, that Aaron Donald, he's something. He's dominating these games. Oh, really? He does force double-team blocks, but then what happens? He disappears. I was thinking early this morning before we're going to do this topic, do I need any video to demonstrate? And I thought, wait a second, there is no video because I don't know any highlights. I'm sorry, I don't have a lot of highlights because in his postseason career, Aaron Donald has exactly a half a sack. Last year in 3 playoff games, he had 0 sacks. And I realize he plays more interior than edge. But still, if you're Reggie White, if you're that guy, you just flash all over the place. You get your hands on the quarterback. So against Dallas in the playoff game last year, he had 2 solos and 0 assists, and I don't remember him playing. At New Orleans in that classic playoff game, he had 2 solo tackles and 0 assists. Against the Patriots, he had 1 solo in the Super Bowl and 4 assists. Okay, 4 assists is okay, but I don't remember him in the Super Bowl. I'm sorry, I don't. And yet, in the big picture, I even go back to the first Dallas game I watched him in, which was the 2017 game at Jerry World.
The game that beat y'all?
Do I remember? Yeah,
the game that came back?
We had him down at halftime, and then we lost Sean Lee at halftime. Yeah, I remember that.
Who was your quarterback then?
Yeah, the guy who out QBR'd Jared Goff. He had an 80-something to a 50-something in that game. Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. In that game, Aaron Donald had 0 sacks. He had 2 solo tackles. He had 0 assists. I just don't remember him playing. So I've watched all these games, and I know that the ex-players say, oh, but you don't understand. Yeah, I do understand.
No,
if we're talking about transcendent, if we're talking about domination, we're talking about LT and Charles Haley and Reggie White, and we're not talking about Aaron Donald. And again, it's just silly wrong to say he's the best player in football.
Skip, the mistake that I think a lot of people make, and you included, is that you say, well, he's not LT. Well, who the hell is? LT, I can make a case, and I let you take Tom Brady or whomever you want. I can make a case that LT is the greatest football player ever. Over Jerry, over Jim Brown, over Tom Brady, over Montana. I can make that kind of case because LT made 2 positions famous, the left tackle and the rush linebacker. But that's not what this discussion is about. This is about Aaron Donald. Skip, did you remember the game, the Monday night game? When they played, I think the Rams played my homeboy, the Chiefs.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Did he not flash?
He flashed a couple times in that game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Skip, last year, this is what he was. He led the league in sacks, tackle for loss, and QB hits. It was the largest gap between 1 and 2. He was 4.5 sacks clear of J.J. Watt. That's the biggest differential since Michael Strahan in 2001. Skip, he is the epitome. As an offensive player, when we went to the meeting rooms on Wednesday, and the coaches were going to explain to us what we were going to do, but who we needed to take care of, if we don't block this guy, we can't win the game.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Skip, I guarantee you, every team that plays the Los Angeles Rams, the first guy they circle is Aaron Donald. We got to find a way to block him.
Okay.
We got to slide the protection.
They often do find a way to block him.
Well, that's where you have to have other guys to pick up the slack. Yeah, if you want to take Shannon Sharp away, that means you had to go one-on-one with Ed and Rod. If that's what you wanted to do,
sure,
have at it. Skip, when I watch this guy play, he's explosive.
Yep,
he jumps off the line, and his handwork is as good as any Taekwondo, karate expert that you will see. Skip, he can do it all. He can rip you. He can Mr. Miyagi wax on, wax off. He can wipe you away. He can bull you. He can hump you. Skip, he is, and because he's so, and people are like, how the hell did he get there? Skip, he's already lined up in that shaded stance and that 3 technique. So he's already close to the quarterback. Yep. If you do not stop his initial charge before the quarterback can get through his fake, Skip, that's why he's already on the quarterback slinging him down. Because once he slides past that guard, he can get skinny. Skip, when I first saw him, I was like, the face looked familiar, and I'm looking at him like, damn, he's small. And that's the mistake that people made when they were grading him coming out of Pitt. They looked at his size, and it's like, Skip, that guy's a hell raiser. When you go into I guarantee you ask all the teams that they're going to play, I guarantee you the first guy, Skip, we played Reggie White. We played Deion Sanders. Skip, we played the Cowboys in 1998. We hung 35 points on them in the first half. I remember in the meeting building up to it, it's like, okay, whoever he lines up on, you're not getting a lot of passes. We're going to pay him respect. We're not out to try to prove anything. Those other guys are not Deion. Well, I hit him up for 6 for 99 and 2 tubs at the half. You know, I'm just doing my thing.
Did Deion take you?
No, he had Rod. Yeah. Rod had, I think, 1 catch. But, hey, that's the way, hey, we're going to stay away from you, Skip. I don't need to butt my head, Skip. I don't need to prove to anybody, oh, my guy one-on-one can handle him. What you trying to prove? You trying to win the game or you trying to play hero? Because if you need to slide too, and when we play guys like that, sometimes we'd have the back, okay, if he's an end, you make sure you get as close to it and you chip your way out. If he's a tackle, you work your way through the line of scrimmage and chip your way out. Skip, this dude's special. I'm not going to look. I played against a lot. I played against Sapp, played against Johnny Randall as far as the defensive tackles. Skip, he's in that breath. And when it's all said and done, he might be the best.
Okay. So I didn't even have my Pro Bowl center last year, Travis Frederick, and in a game out here at the Coliseum, a playoff game, he had 0 sacks, 2 solos, no assists. But it's not good enough.
But you didn't.
How can you not, against my backup center, you can't just crush him and annihilate him?
No, because you got a Pro Bowl guard, an All-Pro guard right there. And then in 2017, you mentioned you had an All-Pro guard and a Pro Bowl and an All-Pro center trying to doing double work on him.
Yeah, you're trying to tell me he's transcendent because he might just be the best defensive tackle in history. I got to see it first. I got to see it.
He's on that trajectory.
Okay.
He's on that trajectory, Skip.
Boy, he trajected right out of the playoffs last year with 0 sacks. 3 games, 0 sacks. I don't even remember hard pressure, so I said, ooh, boy, he almost got there that time.
He slung Tom Brady down once. But, Skip, the thing that you have to love about Coach Belichick, whether it's an offensive or defensive player, he's not going to let your best player beat him. If your best offensive player is a running back, if he's a wide receiver, Coach Belichick will not let those guys beat him. Now, if your B receiver or your C receiver can have at it from a defensive perspective, he's not there trying to prove a point. Coach Belichick would not challenge Deion. Why? Why butt your head when those other guys are not? When I can get 150 yards against the second DB or the slot DB, why am I going to butt my head? That's why they didn't challenge. Why would you challenge Darrell Reeves, Skip, when you can work the slot and beat up on somebody else? That's what you do, Skip. So, if I can double him and get one-on-one everywhere else, I deal with that.
Why didn't Coach Belichick say, I'm not going to let Nick Foles beat me? Why didn't he say
Wait, Skip,
Nick Foles hung 40 on
Skip,
it?
the guy has the court. It's kind of hard because the quarterback gets the ball every time.
I'll blitz him. I'll make him look silly.
Well, you couldn't blitz Skip because you couldn't generate pressure like you could last year.
You didn't have your best cover corner in the game because he was on the bench for mysterious, inexplicable reasons. But
hold on,
mystery.
But we're going to talk about the GOAT. He dropped the pass, Skip. Dropped the pass.
threw for 505, playoff record.
Yeah,
Playoff record.
and a fumble.
Wow.
Yeah. Remember, they fumbled.
33 points Tom Brady scored in that game, which is the most a Super Bowl loser has ever scored.
You see what you do, Skip? You take an anomaly game. With Coach Belichick, I bet you I can count on one hand in the playoffs the time that Coach Belichick's defenses and almost 40 with the Patriots that he's given up 30 plus.
You hate it that the anomaly comes in the Super Bowl that you're favored to win.
But Skip, it happens. It happens. Okay. Aaron Rodgers' team gave up 51 in the divisional, in the wild card game. You can't help that. I mean, the Giants hung 38 on them at home. It happens. But that guy right there, Skip, he the real deal.
Just for the record, Tom Brady fourth.
That's what you said. Oh, look, where was Dak on that? Like, I don't think we talked about
maybe 101. I'm not sure. But maybe they should.
Hypothetically, going into next year, if you just had a draft and you said to GMs, you could take any player on this list just for this coming year, who would they take? I think they'd take Tom Brady.
I'm not taking, I'll tell you what, I'm taking Aaron Donald over you know who.
Who?
You know.
We're going to talk about it. Oh, is that the guy? You want to go there again?
Dinkin and Dakin.
Let's stay talking about that top 100 list. Should Dak be on it? Antonio Cromartie joins us. Let's hear what he thinks. We know what Shannon thinks next.